I'm in a job.
That's not what I asked you to do. Above the ground!
That should be fun.
Hey, no, Joe.
Yeah.
1.
There's no life to see this.
Next.
Wrong. Romeo, someone on this radio right now.
Some of them.
Dan Forester. And I see that you're a soldier. A blanket bombardment has nothing left. Give me that map of the lab now. Surrounded by the enemy star. I need you to get my...
We're on a seesaw, all right? Anybody working on this rooftop? Robert Collin, go.
No aliens.
Copy that. Anyone left here alive? Guys, situational awareness, soldiers. Listen, you and your friends are gonna get eaten. Yes. Making souvenirs. You gotta see it.
All right, Dan, I'm gonna need you to head. So you need to move fast.
Dad!
I got it!
This office right here!
Logical material from Lab 1, and I... see anything.
It's moving, yeah.
12, Dan, I need all of them. The extraction team, we need to get...
I want you to rendezvous with me. Ladies and gentlemen.
There's nothing I can do about it. See... Loading dock at the back and take the rear stair... Say how I say it. Do you understand?
I promise.
Hold him off as long as I can.
This is Colonel Forrest.
Viper 1, standing by on pad.
The only way to the helipad.
Everybody else has got to go back on the next. angry. This is how I remember you.
Do this right now.
You have got to leave me. This never happens.
Seconds until
Toxin.
And we tried to get it from you, but the jump link just... It's open.
Your gauge is acting up? Electrical. No. Magnet charge would be at least 1,000. I think we found your... So you're telling water. Okay, well, it's a common enemy to fight.
I mean, I hate to agree with conspiracy.
Yeah, opportunity to give her is really hard to come by. I guess we're gonna cut that son. Guys, leave this cave, you understand? You certainly are not.
Let's move. They're cargo.
Who's to say Earth was their target? Let's go.
Before, in case one of us...
Souvenir.
You got this. No one's hiding the deck.
Shit.
I'm gonna die my way! Dad! Charlie!
Yeah, you did. Big one. Red belt. Lays an egg.
I need you to stay here. Stay with Charlie.
Dad, she's on the move.
Moving!
God damn it.
Back to back. You got eyes on her?
Maybe she's down.
Got her, Dad.
You tell it to die. It worked. Big old break.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into a world where tomorrow's problems crash-landed yesterday. Literally. We're talking the Tomorrow War, a film that asks, what if your Monday morning commute was replaced with fighting aliens from the future? We meet Dan Forester, a guy who traded in his combat boots for a classroom full of impressionable minds, teaching science with a quiet yearning for something more impactful, like, say, ocean research. He's got a loving wife, a daughter who thinks he's cooler than he actually is, and a nagging feeling that he's not quite living up to his potential. Classic midlife crisis vibes, but with a global twist coming. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. Dan's trying to impress a university for a research position, hoping for a clean break from high school antics, when the entire world grinds to a halt. While everyone's glued to the television, screaming over a World Cup match, a shimmering blue portal, looking like a cosmic rip in reality, tears open right in the middle of the stadium. Out spill a group of heavily armed, weary soldiers. They're not here for a photo op, folks. Their leader, a stern woman with battle scars etched into her face, drops a bombshell that echoes around the globe. They're from 30 years in the future, and humanity is losing a devastating war against an alien species known as the White Spikes. The collective gasp from the stadium audience is palpable, a visceral reaction to their comfortable present being utterly obliterated by a terrifying future. It's the kind of news that really puts a damper on your Sunday afternoon barbecue plans, you know? Forget your mortgage, forget your job interviews. Humanity's got bigger fish, or rather, bigger spiky aliens, to fry. The news spreads like wildfire, igniting panic and confusion worldwide. Governments scramble, but what do you do when the enemy hasn't even been born yet? The future has literally arrived, demanding a draft. But it's not your grandma's draft. They're not sending fresh-faced recruits. They're pulling people from the present and zapping them 30 years forward to fight and, let's be honest, probably die. The future needs bodies and fast. The twist? Only people who aren't alive in 2051 can be drafted. That's right, if you're going to die before the war ends naturally, congratulations, you're exempt. For everyone else, it's a mandatory jump into the unknown. We see a global lottery unfold. Ordinary people from all walks of life, doctors, plumbers, accountants being forced into a conflict they know nothing about. The metallic clang of the lottery drum, the collective groan as names are called, it's all a symphony of dread. Dan naturally gets the call. His peaceful life, his dreams of oceanography, all instantly vaporized. The weight of inevitability presses down. A crushing realization that his future, or lack thereof, has been decided for him. The emotional gut punch of leaving his family, especially his young daughter Mori, is almost as painful as the thought of what awaits him. The quiet sniffles from his wife, the tight hug from Mori, it's a moment designed to wring out every last drop of parental dread. He promises to come back, a vow that sounds increasingly hollow even to him. Then it's off to a quick and dirty training montage, because when you've got aliens chewing through humanity, you don't have time for extensive boot camp. Recruits are thrown into a crash course on future tech, plasma rifles that hum with lethal energy, gravity grenades that create miniature black holes of destruction, and the chilling truth about the White Spikes. They're fast, they're vicious, and they have more teeth than a shark convention. The crack of target practice, the whoosh of energy weapons, it's a brutal symphony of preparation for a war nobody signed up for. The future soldiers, a diverse and terrified bunch, are told that their primary objective is to hold the line. To buy enough time for the scientists to develop a toxin that can wipe out the White Spikes. Simple, right? Just survive long enough for science to catch up. What could possibly go wrong? The jump is less of a graceful teleport and more like being violently flung through a kaleidoscope. One moment, you're in a sterile military base. The next, you're hurtling towards a ravaged Miami cityscape 30 years in the future. The visual jarring, the gut-wrenching lurch of the jump, it's a horrifying ride. Many recruits don't even make it, splattering onto buildings or into the ocean. It's like a deadly game of cosmic roulette. Dan and his squad, including a jovial but clearly out of his depth Charlie, find themselves in what used to be a bustling city, now reduced to crumbling skyscrapers and eerie silence. The air is thick with dust and the metallic scent of decay. The silence is deafening, punctuated only by the distant crackle of gunfire. It's an instant immersion into a nightmare. No soft landing, no welcome wagon, just the grim reality of a world teetering on the brink. The visual of the destroyed Miami, the sheer scale of the devastation, drives home the horrifying stakes of this war. This isn't a video game. It's humanity's last stand, and it smells like ozone and despair. Before they can even properly orient themselves, the white spikes crash the party. And by crash, I mean they burst through walls, skitter across ceilings, and generally make a nuisance of themselves, proving they are not the kind of aliens you can talk out of invading. Their guttural roars echo through the concrete labyrinth, sending shivers down your spine. These creatures are pure nightmare fuel, fast, agile, and armed with razor-sharp claws and whip-like tendrils. The fight is brutal and chaotic. The crackle of plasma rifles' attempts to slice through the air, barely keeping pace with the aliens' frenetic movements. Recruits fresh from the present are quickly overwhelmed. The squelch of alien tendrils, the metallic clang of claws against reinforced walls, the horrified screams of those who don't make it a sensory overload of terror. Dan, despite his years away from combat, falls back on his military instincts, guiding his inexperienced squad through the carnage. They witness firsthand the sheer brutality of the white spikes, their almost animalistic hunger for destruction. It's a sobering reality check. This isn't about fighting for glory. It's about fighting to simply exist for another minute. Their mission quickly pivots. A research team, trapped on a rooftop, needs extraction. It's a suicide mission, naturally. The squad has to navigate a crumbling high-rise, a building that looks like it's been gnawed on by a cosmic teething baby. Every groan of stressed metal, every creak of concrete underfoot heightens the tension. The air is thick with dust and the chilling echoes of unseen threats. They climb a seemingly endless spiral staircase, a spiral into madness, with the constant threat of the white spikes nipping at their heels. The visual of the city below, a landscape of ruined dreams, is a stark reminder of what they're fighting for. Gravity grenades whoosh through the air, buying them precious seconds, but the white spikes just keep coming, their chittering sounds a constant, dreadful soundtrack. It's a desperate climb, punctuated by the metallic clang of falling debris and the horrified yelps of soldiers who don't quite make the jump. Dan, ever the leader, pushes his team forward, his voice a steady anchor in the storm of chaos, urging them to reach the rooftop extraction point before it's too late. The odds are stacked against them, but then again, that's pretty much the default setting for this whole war. They finally reach the rooftop, battered but alive, only to be met by the stoic, hardened colonel of the future forces. And then comes the twist that hits harder than a white spiked tail whip. This battle-hardened leader, General Murray Forrester, is Dan's daughter, all grown up. The sheer shock, the emotional whiplash of seeing his little girl as a commander in a war-torn future, is palpable. Her face, etched with scars and the heavy burden of command, is both familiar and tragically alien. The quiet click of her rifle, the steely gaze in her eyes, it's a stark contrast to the innocent child he left behind. The realization dawns on Dan. He didn't just jump into the future. He jumped into his daughter's future, a future where she's fighting a losing war. The scene is a masterclass in emotional devastation, a quiet moment of familial recognition amidst the chaos of war. It's a devastating punch to the gut, a future that's both intimately personal and globally catastrophic. She's not just a colonel. She's his anchor, his reason, and his greatest fear, all wrapped up in one battle-weary package. Maury, ever the professional, wastes no time on pleasantries, getting down to brass tacks. The grim reality is that humanity is on its last legs. The white spikes, it turns out, are hive-minded with a dominant female, a queen, controlling vast swarms. The crackle of her voice as she outlines the strategy is chilling. Their only hope is to create a toxin that specifically targets the female white spikes, shutting down their entire operation. The catch? They need live white spike tissue to develop it. More specifically, they need a female. The plan is audacious, bordering on insane. Capture a live female white spike. It's an almost impossible task, given their ferocity and numbers. The hum of the holographic displays in the command center, showing tactical maps and white spike anatomy, underlines the scientific desperation. Dan learns that Maury, his daughter, is the leading scientist trying to develop this toxin. The weight of her responsibility, the fate of humanity resting on her shoulders, is almost too much to bear. He's not just fighting for humanity. He's fighting for her, for the future she's trying to build from the ashes of a dying world. The clock is ticking, and the metallic clang of their boots on the command center floor feels like a countdown. The next phase of the mission is straight out of a horror movie, a journey to a remote, snow-blasted region where a massive white spike nest has been located. The crunch of snow under their boots, the biting wind, it's a stark contrast to the urban decay of Miami, but no less terrifying. The desolate landscape is a testament to the white spike's destructive power, an entire ecosystem rendered lifeless. Dan's team, including the ever-nervous Charlie and a few other hardened soldiers, traverses treacherous terrain, their breaths misting in the frigid air. The silence is unsettling, broken only by the distant, haunting calls of unseen alien creatures, a truly spine-tingling sound design. Every shadow seems to hold a threat, every gust of wind a potential ambush. It's a slow, agonizing crawl towards certain danger, the weight of their mission pressing down on them with every step. The fate of humanity hinges on this desperate gambit, a daring raid into the very heart of the enemy's territory. This isn't just a physical journey, it's a psychological one, pushing them to the brink of their endurance, forcing them to confront their deepest fears. What a delightful vacation spot, eh? Inside the nest, it's a chaotic ballet of terror. The interior, a biomechanical nightmare, pulses with an eerie, organic light. The air is thick with the alien scent of the white spikes, a truly unique olfactory horror. Dan, Maury, and their team engage in a desperate struggle to isolate and sedate a female. These aren't your garden variety drones. The females are bigger, stronger, and significantly more aggressive. The crackle of plasma fire, the whoosh of tendrils, the deafening roars of the trapped creatures, it's a cacophony of fear and determination. Dan and Maury, working in grim synchronicity, navigate the pulsating tunnels, attempting to inject the sedative while fending off hordes of furious white spikes. The squelch of alien bodies hitting the ground, the desperate cries of soldiers, it's all part of the symphony of this impossible mission. The visual of Maury injecting the sedative with a steely resolve is powerful. They manage to secure a female, a truly monumental feat, but not without heavy casualties. The quiet groan of the sedated creature, the metallic clang of restraints, marks a momentary victory, a brief respite in the relentless war. It's a small win, but in this future, anyone feels like a miracle dot with the female white spike secured. Maury races against the clock to synthesize the toxin. The hum of scientific equipment in their makeshift lab contrasts starkly with the sounds of battle raging outside. The clicks and whirs of her devices work in a desperate rhythm. She successfully develops the lethal compound, a small vial holding the hope of humanity. But their victory is short-lived. The White Spikes discover their location and launch a full-scale assault. The metallic clang of aliens battering their barricades grows louder and louder, a terrifying drumbeat of impending doom. Knowing they can't both make it back, Mori makes the ultimate sacrifice. In a heart-wrenching scene, she entrusts the toxin to Dan, asking him to return to the past and find a way to prevent the war. The quiet, tearful goodbye, the tight embrace, it's a moment of profound love and sacrifice, underscored by the sounds of the collapsing base. The last thing Dan hears from her is a resolute instruction, a testament to her strength. He's forced to leave his adult daughter to a heroic, yet tragic, fate, a burden no parent should ever have to bear. The roar of the explosion, the finality of her choice, reverberates through his soul. Talk about a really bad day at the office. Dan's return to the present is less of a triumphant homecoming and more like a ghost re-entering the world of the living. He lands with a sickening thud, the familiar sights and sounds of 2020 to feeling jarringly peaceful, almost offensively normal. The vibrant colors, the lack of destruction, it all feels wrong after the apocalyptic future he just witnessed. He's back, but he's not the same man who left. His eyes hold the haunted gaze of someone who's seen too much, felt too much loss. The quiet joy of reuniting with his wife and young daughter is tinged with the crushing weight of his secret, the knowledge that this peaceful present is living on borrowed time. The precious vial of toxin, clutched in his hand, represents both hope and an unbearable burden. He can't tell them everything, can't explain the horrors he's endured or the sacrifice his future daughter made. The emotional distance is palpable, a silent chasm opening between him and his family. The metallic clang of his combat gear being removed feels like shedding a skin, but the scars, both visible and invisible, remain. He's got to figure out how to stop this war before it starts. And he's pretty much on his own. With the toxin in hand, Dan faces a new, equally daunting task, figuring out when and how the White Spikes arrived on Earth. His first stop. His estranged, off-the-grid, slightly unhinged father, James, because who else do you go to when you need to uncover a global alien conspiracy? The quiet hum of James's off-grid cabin, the distinct scent of old books and paranoia, sets the stage for their tense reunion. Their relationship is, let's say, complicated, built on years of unspoken resentment and differing worldviews. James, a brilliant but isolated individual, quickly becomes Dan's unconventional research partner. Using the knowledge Mori provided, they begin to piece together clues, poring over geological data, historical records, and satellite imagery. The subtle clicks of a keyboard, the rustle of old maps, it's a race against time and bureaucracy. They theorize that the White Spikes didn't just arrive in 2051. They were already here, hidden, dormant, waiting for their moment. The sheer audacity of the thought that humanity has been sharing the planet with a hidden menace for decades is chilling. It's an investigation that takes them down rabbit holes of scientific anomaly and forgotten Cold War secrets, gradually shifting the focus from simply fighting the future to preventing it altogether, just as Dan and James hit a wall. A familiar face appears, Dorian, a fellow draftee who miraculously made it back. Dorian, however, is not long for this world, having been exposed to something nasty in the future. He brings with him an invaluable piece of the puzzle, recovered future data. The quiet rustle of old files, the low murmur of their conversation, it's a tense exchange. This data confirms their horrifying suspicion. The White Spikes were not an indigenous species to the future, nor did they arrive via a wormhole from another galaxy in 2051. No, these delightful creatures crashed on Earth decades ago, specifically in Russia, and lay dormant under the ice. a ticking biological time bomb. The revelation hits with the force of an explosion. It means the future war wasn't inevitable. It was a consequence of humanity's oversight, a terrifying whoopsie on a global scale. The metallic clang of Dorian's weary gear, the coughs that punctuate his sentences, underscore the urgency of their new mission. With the toxin and the truth in hand, the goal shifts from merely preventing the war to actively seeking out and eliminating the dormant threat before it ever awakens. Time to go Arctic. I guess the new mission takes Dan, James, and a rapidly deteriorating Dorian on a chilling expedition to the Arctic Circle. The incessant hum of their small plane, buffeted by icy winds, fills the cabin. This isn't exactly first-class travel, more like a desperate scramble to the ends of the earth. The vast, unforgiving expanse of white below, the endless stretch of ice and snow, serves as a stark, beautiful, and utterly terrifying backdrop. The biting cold, even inside the plane, permeates everything, a constant reminder of the extreme environment they're venturing into. The quiet clicks of James's navigational equipment, the subtle creaks of the plane, are the only sounds breaking the tension. Dorian, his health fading, remains resolute, his quiet determination a powerful force. They are a motley crew, a scientist, a soldier, and a conspiracy theorist, united by a shared purpose to prevent the apocalypse. Even if it means venturing into the most desolate corners of the planet. The visual of the endless ice, a pristine death trap, highlights the monumental scale of their final challenge. It's like a very, very cold scavenger hunt, but with alien monsters instead of Easter eggs. After battling through blizzards and battling their own dwindling hope, they finally pinpoint the crash site. And what they find isn't just a simple impact crater. Embedded deep within the ancient ice is a colossal alien spaceship. Its sleek, biomechanical design an unsettling contrast to the jagged, natural ice formations. The eerie silence of the frozen wasteland is broken only by the whistling wind, carrying with it a sense of ancient dread. The ship is massive, a monument to a terrifyingly advanced and equally terrifyingly destructive alien civilization. It's covered in strange, organic-looking structures, almost like it's a living entity itself, slowly pulsing beneath the frozen surface. The visual of this alien behemoth, dormant but undeniably present, sends a chill down your spine that has nothing to do with the Arctic cold. The metallic clang of Dan's pickaxe against a hidden piece of alien tech, the sharp gasp from James, confirms their worst fears. This isn't just a crash site. It's a prison, a tomb for the very monsters that will one day wipe out humanity. The sheer scale of it, the horrifying realization that this threat has been lying in wait for centuries, is almost too much to comprehend. It's like finding a dormant volcano in your backyard, except the lava is made of pure, unadulterated terror. Venturing inside the ship is like stepping into a living nightmare. The interior is a labyrinth of organic pathways, pulsating lights, and the chilling, rhythmic sounds of dormant alien life. The air is thick with a strange, acrid odor, an alien scent that prickles your nose. Their movements are cautious, every metallic clang of their boots echoing ominously in the alien vastness. But dormant doesn't last long. The white spikes roused by their intrusion awaken with guttural roars, swarming from every dark crevice. It's a desperate, brutal close-quarters battle in the tight confines of the ship. Plasma fire crackles, grenades explode with a whoosh, and the metallic clang of alien claws against human armor is relentless. Dorian, making a valiant last stand, sacrifices himself to buy Dan and James precious seconds. His final act, a defiant roar against the encroaching horde, is a truly poignant moment. Dan and James fight their way to the ship's core, the White Spike Queen's chamber, a terrifying throne room of alien terror. The queen is massive, more formidable than any they've seen, her tendrils whipping through the air like lethal snakes. It's the ultimate boss battle, and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. The ground vibrates with every alien impact, the very structure of the ship groaning under the strain of battle. In a frantic, brutal climax, Dan uses every ounce of his strength and tactical training to reach the white spiked queen. The crack of his rifle, the desperate shouts to his father, the metallic clang of close combat, it's a symphony of survival. He finally manages to inject the toxin into the massive queen, a moment of triumph mixed with pure exhaustion. The effect is immediate and devastating. The queen's guttural roars turn to pained screeches, her body convulsing. The toxin spreads rapidly through the hive mind, causing the white spikes to collapse, their horrifying screeches slowly dying down to an eerie silence. The ship itself begins to groan and destabilize, the ancient alien tech tearing itself apart. Dan and James make a desperate dash for the exit, the whoosh of collapsing corridors and exploding alien structures all around them. The ground rumbles, the ice cracks, and the entire alien vessel implodes in a spectacular cascade of ice and fire. They escape by the skin of their teeth, witnessing the final, cataclysmic destruction of the ship and its terrifying cargo. The future war, the one his daughter fought and died in, has been averted. The deafening silence that follows the explosion is not one of dread, but of a hard-won, terrifying peace. Humanity gets a second chance, thanks to a science teacher and his estranged father. What a team! Back in the present, the world reacts with a mix of disbelief and overwhelming relief as the news breaks about the discovered and eradicated alien threat. Dan returns home, not as a draftee sent to die, but as a quiet hero who literally saved the world. The embrace with his wife and daughter, Maury, is different this time. It's filled with an unspoken understanding, a deeper appreciation for the simple joy of being present. The future Maury may be gone, but the present Maury now has a future, a true, hopeful tomorrow. This film reminds us that sometimes the greatest battles aren't just fought with guns and grit, but with the quiet courage of connection, the unwavering bond of family, and the desperate hope for a better tomorrow. It shows that even when facing unimaginable odds, the human spirit, driven by love and a fierce will to protect what matters, can rewrite destiny. It's a testament to the power of choice, the belief that we are not slaves to fate, and that every single action, even a small one, can ripple through time and change the course of history. We might not have alien invasions on our schedule, but we all face our own tomorrow wars, battles that require us to look inward, draw strength from those we love, and bravely step into the unknown. Remember, the future isn't written. It's made by us right now.